Hello, friends. Welcome here. What is this, Grand Prix Oakland?
Oakland.
I'm Kenji Egashira. This is AJ Sacher. We've just had a wonderful, lovely day 2. Maybe yours was a little bit better than mine, considering you were playing in day 2. But
Still not great.
what was your end record?
10-5.
10-5. Okay. And
Yeah.
is that good enough for like a pro point or something?
I think a point and nothing else.
So I think you like doubled my score because I was 5-3-1.
This tournament was weird because it's the first one where they did the new structure. So now day 2 was like 570 people and only 64 cash, which is what an entire GP was like 8 years ago.
That's insane.
It's day 2.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's great for the growth of Magic. It just tells
No,
you.
it's massive.
Yeah.
So during the player meeting, speaking of growth of Magic, during the player meeting, I sat next to, on my left, was this 11-year-old kid who I'm like frantically registering my deck, and he's like, "You playing the tier 1 deck?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "That's cool. I'm just playing mono green. I don't really play standard. Modern's my format." I'm like, "This kid's amazing." He's like, "What do you play modern?" He's like, "Badgers."
Like charging badgers.
Yep. It's basically just like a Targa red, but charging badgers his card.
It
so
has
he's telling me
trample.
all about his modern badger deck. And then the best part was he said that he loves playing no banned list modern with his friend, where his friend plays Storm and gives him affinity. It's not a very good friend.
My tournament just did not go well in general. Like, started match 1, right? We play one game.
Attention players, I'm looking for
60 minutes.
Jason Baker
Kenji,
and Blaine
Magic tournaments are
Patrick.
played best
Jason
of
Baker
3.
and Blaine Patrick for standard 98. Your event is ready to begin. Please meet your judge in the blue.
Do you know how many times you have to shuffle?
Area.
Yeah.
In standard, you played more matches than I did. How many minutes do you think you spent shuffling?
All of them.
Yeah.
Well, my first tournament back was Denver, and I had to. I got an unintentional draw in the first round because I didn't know like the mechanics, how mechanically intensive it is. So like you have to just like play a fetch land, pass, and then start the fetch But if you do it properly, like you fetch land, go, and then wait until the end step, and then crack it, and you're both waiting. Like you'll just go to time every time.
That's what I started doing. I would do it right the first time. Go, end of your turn, I'll use it. But then I just started. I'm gonna use this now, and then you can use it now.
Yeah, I just sloppily shortcut everything because I want to finish my matches. It's so outrageous. And like the thing about fetch lands, right? Not only do you have to shuffle every time, but you also then have to go back to the life pod, and then one of you mixes the fetch, and then you have to take 40 seconds to count the fetches in the yard again. It adds up so much to like. The percentage of the round that you're actually playing Magic is lower right now than it ever has been.
The rounds, you have so much time, but you're actually playing for like 25 minutes of it or something. And I really hope that you guys could hear what AJ was just saying because there was that loudspeaker. But if not, then there's gonna be really animated. Looks like he's doing some crazy things, talking about.
I'll subtitle it if we have to.
Yeah.
But did you play a lot with Corsair Prefix?
No.
Okay, so Corsair is like the same thing where it's really mechanically intensive. Like you draw your card and then you have to flip the next one and then you play that and then you have to remember to flip this and gain your life and like go to your life pad and then people. But now, imagine that every deck has like 12 Corsairs or whatever. Like
Every time.
Yeah, it's really outrageous. There were definitely points in past tournaments, it didn't happen to me this weekend, where I would purposefully play the incorrect land because it was worth the extra 6 seconds on the clock to not thin a land out of my deck to just like play the basic instead of the fetch.
Sure.
Like, that's the world in which we live.
Well, all I know is that I will be very happy next month come Vancouver when it's going to be limited and I don't have to deal with as much shuffling. And 60 card decks just feel weird in my hands. It's too much. It's like,
Yeah. Can I tell you the card that facilitates the most absurd blowouts is Kolaghan's Command.
I think so.
This happened on stream, but it's still my favorite. Kolaghan's Command was they go turn 2 Radical Claw Mystic, turn 3 Heaved on Archive.
Oh god, GG.
Oh wait, how many destroy target artifact modes do you think I chose this weekend?
Well, okay, based on this story, I'm going to say 8.
4. But that's a lot for standard.
That's still a ton.
But there's a lot of like kill your guy and your Hangerback Walker.
Or Hedron Archives. Yeah.
But the best was the best 2 were this one card hand is Den Protector, 5 lands, so draws Den Protector face down. So I go kill that discard, and then Jace it, sacrificing the Jace, get back Jace discard.
Get you.
Yeah.
Get the card that was den protected back.
Yep. And then the other one is just like you get them down to 1 card, and so you're like kill your Soulfire Grandmaster and your Koladon in your hand or whatever for 3 mana.
I don't think I had any sweet plays like that. Everybody kept running into my Shambling Mess every single time, especially when I had a Gideon's Emblem too. Okay, so round one, again, we played 1 game that went the whole time. I had, all my Shambling Defense effectively. I had a Gideon Emblem, and there were multiple times where I'd activate them, and he'd be like, Fire Impulse, and I'm like, yep, Fire
Resolves.
Impulse. Yeah, Resolves, and then he's like, crap.
Oops.
Yeah. They're just attacking 1/1s into my lands.
Oh, totally.
Like, activate and get you. And
Well, the worst is when they don't, like, they emblem, but they don't have an emblem, like, they don't represent it.
Yeah.
Because that happened to somebody sitting next to me, and it's just like, that's super relevant. Like, if you have a Glorious Anthem in play, it's in play,
Yes.
Like, you need to represent
On
it
the
in some
battlefield,
way.
AJ, thank you.
Excuse me. What does in play mean? I don't know. Yeah, no, the emblems are weird. What do you think about Gideon, like, as a design?
no, I like them a lot, especially. It's very flavorful, I think.
I have 2 problems with Gideon, and 2 things I really like about Gideon.
Okay, let's hear it.
Number 1, I hate that it has to have prevent all damage. I understand why, because like there's confusion about what damage to a creature planeswalker does to the loyalty
Yes.
versus its toughness. Like I get it, but I wish that didn't have to exist because it doesn't make sense really. And the other thing I don't like is I don't like any planeswalkers that have an ultimate that is their loyalty, because way too often they just play like sorceries. Like planeswalkers are supposed to be like this big, cool, these gods or whatever, and when you just play it like a sorcery, it gets so anticlimactic. But then the 2 things I like about Gideon, one is that he's 5/5 instead of like 4/4, which was what like for symmetry and balance wise, like I think it's awesome. He's a 5/5, and then that his 0 makes allies.
Yes,
I love that.
It's
just
very
because
clever.
whenever it comes up, it's so awesome, and like he's Gideon. He's the ally of Zendikar.
Yeah. Well, see, they have that new. I don't know if you looked at the spoiled cards of the new set, but like
Very few, but
the White Oath, Gideon's Oath.
yeah.
So it's 3 mana, 1 white, 2 colorless, I believe. When it enters the battlefield, you get 2 1/1s or something.
Yeah.
And you're.
Are they allies?
I would assume so.
Okay.
And then, like your planeswalkers get another loyal enter.
Yeah.
Another, so
That's the best like planeswalker synergy one.
Yeah,
like an extra loyalty means that a bunch of like very playable planeswalkers can just play up and then ultimate, like threaten ultimate immediately, which is awesome.
Or in the case of Gideon, you can just ultimate him immediately and he still survives.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I like, especially with the 2 tokens that you get from the Oath.
It's so flavorful, and they curve into each other.
Exactly.
It's like development knows what they're doing.
Once in a while.
Oh well, yeah. I will say Gideon does not match up well against Crackling.
No.
I had a lot of opponents like Gideon, like Big Finish Gideon, just like Crackling Doom,
Second biggest creature, yeah.
attack it with the Soulfire. Clean living.
I was running Gideon in my deck, and every time my opponent was playing Dark Jeskai or something like that, that was the one thing that was resonating.
Yep.
He's holding up black, white, red. I can't attack.
Yeah, exactly. But all the play, like Sorin, if you minus it for a vampire,
Is that 2?
Kill it in 2. Omnixilus, if you kill a creature, like Crackling Doom, the 2 incidental damage is just
It's huge.
it's insane right now. Like in old standard before like the battle lands, like the 2 damage just did not matter at all, and now it matters every time. Like the 2 life you get off of it from its Soulfire Grandmaster is the difference between winning and losing against red. Like it's just it always matters.
And I've heard from tons of people that Crackling Doom is just one of the best cards in standard right now.
It's great.
Yeah.
It kills Gideon. It kills all of Abzan's guys. Ojitai is like a huge deal.
Siege Rhinos, it doesn't even matter.
I love Crackling Doom.
Everything was what you were playing Crackling Doom, so I wasn't.
I had to like manipulate Crackling Dooms where like you minus one of their creatures so that
Jace.
it's smaller. You plus Jace to minus something so that you can Crackling Doom the other one. That kept happening, and the other one that's really good the other one that's awesome with Jace is I just didn't activate it 1 turn on purpose.
Okay.
That's pretty
Oh, you just did? Oh, I see.
Just didn't do anything with it.
And then what was it set up?
Well, so it flipped, and then I upped it to 6, and then the next turn I minused it to flash something back, and then the turn after that I was using all my mana, but I knew that the next turn I wanted to flash back and get an active chase, so I just didn't plus it so that it would die the next turn.
Gathering point area.
Yeah. I wanted to, like, I just did it smooth, but I realized after I should have been like, go.
Oh, yeah, I did it again.
I already said go, nothing I can do.
Hands up in the air. Alright, so, if you had to, put the experience of GP Oakland, the very first GP this year, 2016, overall, with all the new changes to the system and whatnot, how do you think it went? Just in a nutshell.
I'm gonna give it 3 out of 4 Gideons.
Okay, I like that.
And my notes are, I like the change of paying less people and paying more money. I like making the class structure top heavy, and I like more people making day 2. To have both of those changes at the same time seems conflicting to me.
Yes.
That's my only criticism. Like, I like both the changes individually, but it felt bad to be like, oh, 570 people made day 2 and 64 in cash. That felt bad. But I get it. I get both. And then my other note is that CFB cross-coverage. I like it. They did a lot of cool things. They had Athena in the pit to do like winners.
I just had it on Twitch.
Yes, check her out. Stream out. Very cool. I like it that you can finish and throw. Like, they do it at the Pro Tour, why wouldn't they do it at GPs, So I like being able to throw it to the floor, having your sideline reporter. The Moto matches, the whatever they were called, the CFB Showdown series, they had a clip of like a Western showdown. Did you see this?
No, I wasn't paying attention.
It's like poorly photoshopped, like on an old Western, and it's like Ifro and Cheon's faces or whatever, just cropped on, or it's Garvis Elscott actually.
Oh, right.
Just cropped onto like an old Western. But I like that series of just like having pros play, test tier 1 decks, and talk about like that's one of the biggest hurdles in Magic coverage is downtime between rounds, and having both the rewinds match, having the throwdown to the sideline reporter, and then like stock footage, like something to go to, or prepared footage, I should say, are all 3 great ways to fix that. And CFB did all of them amazingly. So 3 out of 4 Gideons is what I'm trying to say, in short.
And I think a lot of the coverage, this year is going to be a lot better than in the past.
Yes.
They're going to be implementing a lot of new things. There isn't going to be as much downtime, because I know a lot of times, especially in the last year or so, a match finishes, it goes to the countdown timer, it's like 16 minutes.
16 minutes, yeah.
And then 16 minutes turns into 30 minutes anyway. They re-uptick the clock. So I'm really
every time
excited.
you have to do that, it should be like a disaster.
Yeah.
Like that should happen very rarely, and it should be like for 2 minutes max, So the fact that we're just getting better and better at using that time effectively and usefully, like interestingly, like engagingly, is A+, super awesome.
And obviously, there are some logistical things like
it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
it's a lot of extra work.
To put
which
in
I understand.
The filler,
I mean, you have to hire like 3 extra people and have a bunch of people put in a bunch of time before to get the footage. But it's so worth it for a coverage perspective, because
I think so.
When you throw to that 15 minutes later match, it's so easy for people to just click away.
Yes.
And so keeping it up is really important.
Just losing viewership that way.
Exactly.
It's so bad on something like Twitch or whatever.
I was gonna say, tell me about streaming. Do you know anything about how to keep?
Well, I was going to go back to one of your other 3 or 4 Gideon points.
Okay.
How it makes kind of opposite sense that there are more people making day 2 because it's 6-3,
Right.
But fewer payouts.
Right.
So I think for like Grand Prix and stuff, it's a lot more casual. So
Yes.
for a lot of people, just making day 2 at 6-3 is maybe a prize in itself.
Correct.
So, and I think that's
Which is why I agree with that decision.
Yeah.
And then I love top-heavy price structures, so I agree with that decision.
Modern constructed.
It just felt conflicting to have
It does
both
too.
at the same time.
It does
That's all.
too.
Ready to begin. Please
that might be like nitpicking on my part. Like that's a very personal experience. Like I hated having to wake up early X3 when I was very unlikely to cash. That stunk. But I know that I'm not the target market for those decisions, and am in the vast minority. I have a video camera in front of me, so I'm going to express my opinion, even though it may not be the opinion of the masses.
Yeah, that's good. That's what we want. But what were you saying about streaming?
But just that streaming, it's the same thing. Like you have to have constant engagement. You can't just like stop streaming for 20 minutes and go like get a burrito.
Well, if you do, you lose
half your viewers.
Percent of your viewers.
And then you have to like stream for another hour to slowly climb that back up, and then you're like, okay, I'm back where I was before I took a break, and I want another break.
It is very, very rough. I don't think of people who both stream, and you've streamed for such a long time. You know what it's like, but I don't think the general person watching Twitch streams understands that.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do 24-hour streams. That's still inhuman to me.
I actually have a twin, and I walk up.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
It's very easy that way.
When I was streaming a ton and would hit like the 6 or 7 hour mark, I would either just crash or get super loopy and then stream for like 3 more hours where I don't even know what's going on and can't read the cards.
I'm on the latter side of it.
But then I still pass out at hour 11. 24 is inhuman.
Really, this was just like a nice short talk with you, AJ.
Yeah, a good wrap up.
Yeah. So I think I appreciate you.
What's your rating? You never gave it an official rating.
Oh. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 7. Secure the waste tickets.
Beautiful.
There's a 24-hour stream planned this Thursday, which is January 17th or something?
Something like that. Today's the 10th, so 15th?
Maybe the 15th then? Yeah. January 15th. 7 a.m. Pacific time.
Until when?
Vincent Calderon,
7 a.m.
Justin Baker.
Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. All of us here at New Mod Gaming. Have a
Vincent Calderon.